So good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to talk with you this morning. My name is Eric Little, and Dr. Nancy Sundheim is right here, and we'll have a couple of guest students joining us up here at the table in just a moment. Our discussion today is going to be talking about the lab experience for online courses. As coming from an engineering background, and certainly Nancy and I have dealt with industry for many years. Oops. Thank you very much. For many years now. One of the things that we've found is that engineering as a community very much appreciates experience. They want to invest in people that are able to have an immediate impact on the bottom line and also have the proper education that will make them full citizens as well as more productive in their future careers. So the way we wanted to do this was we're doing, as Ben had said, we're doing a pretty good job here at St. Cloud. But one of the things that I was heartened with, and Nancy also, I believe, when we came on 3 years ago, was the emphasis at St. Cloud on laboratory experiences. And there are a lot of labs, and it was very heartening to me coming on from industry that that is the case. However, in discussions, we recognize that online delivery is becoming more prevalent within the university community. And the concern is that the St. Cloud State experience with so many labs and practical experience might be watered down if it was going to a completely online experience. And therefore we questioned, how is it that we could make an online experience more valuable and provide the same good laboratories that we did and here at the university, except provide that to a more convenient online delivery. So the question, being scientists and engineers, is we asked, how exactly can we design a laboratory to allow a student to be remote and yet get the same experience that they would here on campus? And this is where Nancy steps in.
Okay. Our study was to explore the possibility of having the students complete the labs at home with inexpensive, easy to access materials. I have here Mohammed Al-Hassan, who was randomly assigned to the face-to-face group, and Rachel Roscoe, who was randomly assigned to the at-home. So she did the experiments at home. They're going to demonstrate how we tried to simulate automatic assembly equipment using bolts, nuts, paper clips, and butter dishes. So Rachel will start with the regular paper clips. She's going to simulate a vibratory bowl feeder. So she is delivering, more or less, one paper clip onto the conveyor belt at a time. Most people will assume, if you talk to them, well, if you're doing assembly, you want parts that have a bigger opening. A bigger opening will make it much quicker to connect to the next part. Let's explore this experiment again. Now Rachel's going to use paper clips that have been pulled apart just a little bit and see what happens when she does her vibratory bowl feeder here. They tangle really badly. So here we were able to do with paper clips and butter dishes what we had to use automatic assembly equipment for in the lab. Mohammed is going to pretend to be a robot arm. Most industrial robots have just one arm, so he has to put one arm behind his back. He's going to use the kitchen tongs as a robot gripper. He's going to pick up the spring and put it on the bolt. Easy. Now he's going to pick up the nut and try to secure the spring on the bolt using just the one arm. Wow. Okay. I thought he was going to do it. I'm like, this is like an impossible task I gave him. He was going to really impress me. Oh, look at that. You really should. He must have practiced because this is extremely difficult. Now, most of the time we would do this then, oops, that's what usually happens. Then we explore the idea that your other arm has to be a second expensive robotic arm to hold down the spring in order to put the nut on to secure it. So now it's usually a little bit easier. He had one misstep. Usually it's a bunch of missteps, and the springs were all over the lab. We did a portion of this on the in-class, but then mostly this was to do it at home. Thank you very much for helping us. They both have class. They've gotten special permission to be here to demonstrate this for you, and they're anxious to get back to class. So we will let them exit now. Hopefully they'll be able to join us for lunch later, but they have class right now. And thank you to the professors that graciously allowed them to be a few minutes late to class. Very, very briefly, with the results, we found no significant difference in performance between the two groups, which was highly significant to us for the project. We had mixed results, but at least in the one class, overall, the online students actually felt less of a need to go seek out additional resources to complete the labs. And this was real interesting too, very weak evidence, but some evidence to indicate that the online students, although they performed as well, didn't feel as confident that they had mastered the concepts. So Eric is going to finish up here.
So this is just a first salvo. It was our first encounter to try and quantify what has been unquantifiable as far as we know to this point. So our initial investigation demonstrated that at-home labs can be just as effective in the learning mission without any significant difference in performance. So that's significant on a number of levels, and we can talk about it at lunch if you'd like. Overall, students felt great confidence in completing the labs at home, and the online students may feel less confident, but once again, we don't have complete data to support that. I think the big indication here is that going forward, we believe that being able to construct labs for online students will provide them a very valuable, if not as valuable, an education as physically here at the university. That opens up a series of possibilities, not only for St. Cloud State and the Minnesota State in general, but also just in general, for the larger community. So we're very excited to continue to look at these, to expand on these results, and very much looking forward to the next steps. This also would not have been possible without the generous donation of the Miller family. So we hope that we're holding up their spirit of trying to advance education here within the community and also within the world. Thank you very much.